Hello watch lovers, and welcome to this video where I'll be looking at 10 incredible new watches you simply can't miss. Whether you're a seasoned collector or ready to upgrade, these watches are bringing the heat in 2024, from watches that look like illustrations to luxury timepieces that redefine elegance. There's something here for everyone, so let's just dive right into the G-Shock 2100 Manga series. So, just straight up looking like it's been cut out of the pages of a comic book, this is the G-Shock GA2100 MNG, with a very striking hand-drawn appearance, taking inspiration from Japanese graphic novels. This watch features several manga motifs in its design. You've got bold pen stroke-like outlines accenting the edges of the watch, a dotted half-tone printing pattern on the resin case and bracelet, and a speech bubble day of the week pointer with a thoughtful ellipsis inside. And also the classic manga motion lines on the case back. But no sign of a sweat drop, snot bubbles, or that little cross thing that signifies a stress-related vein in the temple. But it's all very cleverly implemented. It's almost like an optical illusion for your wrist. It's a unique style and I love it, but perhaps it might be a bit too bold for some, but personally I'm quite used to wearing a paper watch from years of cutting out pictures of Rolexes from magazines and taping them to my wrist. In addition, the watch is packing all your favourite G-Shock features as standard, like 200 meters of water resistance, world timer alarms, and of course shock resistance. It comes in two colours, light blue, or if you want to go full take on me, you can go for the white version. So in the UK, these watches cost £139, but at time of recording, they're marked as coming soon. So be ready when they drop, because these are a limited run and they might go quickly. Now, if you're one of those people that think Audemars Piguet is just a one-trick pony, constantly dining out on the Royal Oak with nothing new to offer, then you're having a laugh, son. Because they've only gone and plucked this little beauty from the top drawer of their archives. A tribute to brutalism and a tribute to model 5159BA, a watch launched in 1960, Audemars Piguet looks to be capitalising on the barnstorming success of the Cybertruck with this, the Remaster 02. It's a limited edition of 250 and it has an asymmetrical 41mm rectangular case with a satin finish in 18 karat sand gold, and that's a special alloy composed of gold, copper and palladium and possibly sand, which gives the metal of the case a very warm appearance. The blue dial is subdivided into 12 brass triangles that have been parted by sand gold partitions and given a unique parallel brushing effect. And it's got sand gold hands too. The case and crystal both slope down at 3 o'clock and the boxy integrated lugs complete the vintage aesthetic. Inside is an in-house caliber 7129 and it costs $47,000. But if that's too much brutalism for you, or indeed too much money, why not try the mini but mighty Royal Oak Mini in a 23mm diameter in frosted yellow, pink or white gold and with a quartz movement for £29,000. So usually when you hear the name Credor, you might think, did Hahn shoot first or did Credor shoot first? Or you might think of exquisite handmade Japanese watchmaking. Depends if you're mindful of the details. And when you hear the name Gerald Genta, you might think of iconic watch designs, bezel bolts and octagons mainly. Well, if you put all those things together, then you get this, the Gerald Genta designed Credor Locomotive. So named by Genta in the hope that it would drive Credor and Seiko into the future like a locomotive. And here we are, celebrating Credor's 50th anniversary with this limited edition piece. Based on a historic model designed by Genta and now reproduced based on his original sketch, with Credor going to extraordinary lengths to stay faithful to Jez's original drawing. With all 1,600 radial lines directly engraved onto the dial via a special machine process involving a digital dial rendering. And in addition to Credor's impeccable attention to detail, the watch features unmistakable Genta design codes like an iconic hexagonal bezel with 6 functional screws for easy maintenance. Looks like you'll need a hex driver if you want to get in there and do any tinkering or mods. And there's various types of high-end finishing across the surfaces, bezel and case sides, with the case and bracelet now made of high-intensity titanium. The watch houses the caliber CR01, a new automatic movement exclusive to Credor that's less than 9mm thick, developed to maintain the slim profile of that original locomotive. Only 300 of these will be released worldwide in August for a retail price of £12,000. Now then, what have IWC been up to in the lab? Pushing the boundaries, that's what, by creating a new glow-in-the-dark ceramic material which they're calling CERALUME. IWC has developed a proprietary luminous ceramic technology, and this new technology has been developed by XPL, that's IWC's engineering division, and it enables the production of fully luminous ceramic watch cases for the first time. So by mixing ceramic powders with high-grade superluminova pigments, they've created a ceramic compound that behaves like a light storage battery, absorbing and storing light energy from both natural and artificial sources, and then emitting that energy as a bright bluish light for more than 24 hours. This process can be repeated an infinite number of times without ever causing the material to age or diminish in its light storage capabilities. And so with that, IWC has manufactured a fully luminous ceramic concept watch, a pilot's watch chronograph 41 with a CERALUME case. Plus it gets a dial sprayed with a superluminova solution and a white rubber strap injection molded with superluminova pigments. This is as full lume as it gets. It's a very cool and exciting development, and I look forward to seeing what more they can do with it. Fully lume ceramic bezels might be good. I wonder if they can get me a CERALUME set of my house keys, or a CERALUME charging port on my phone. That'd be good. But I'm just spitballing here. I'll leave it up to IWC. Next, introducing the Polaris Geographic, a new addition to Jaeger LeCoultre's sporty Polaris collection with a new interpretation of the travel watch. The Geographic complication displays the hour of a second time zone based on location, so by turning the crown at 10 o'clock, the wearer can choose a city representing one of the 24 major time zones shown via the aperture at the bottom of the dial, and then when a city is chosen, the corresponding time is automatically displayed in the sub-dial at 6 o'clock. There's also a handy 24-hour night and day indicator and a power reserve indicator as well, and it's all expertly laid out by JLC in a clear and pleasing fashion, as they are wont to do. The lacquer dial comes in an ocean grey with orange accents for extra pop, and you've got skeletonized hands, Arabic numbers and elongated trapezoid indexes, and the dial features a double gradient finish and is coated with 35 layers of lacquer. 35 layers of lacquer, JLC. 35? That's insane. And you get an automatic movement caliber 939, designed, produced, finished and assembled in-house, all packaged up in a 42mm stainless steel case and a glass box crystal, and finished to JLC's extremely high standards with a nice mix of brushing and polishing. Comes with 2 straps, a black rubber or a blue canvas, and it will cost you £14,800. So, Bell & Ross is back at it with its iconic circle in a square with 4 screws vibes. This is the Bell & Ross BR03 white, steel and gold, and it is unmistakably a Bell & Ross watch in striking steel and 18 karat rose gold. But still in line with the brand's history in aviation, this is a pilot's instrument watch, but looking very handsome and luxurious, with a white opaline texture dial with a lovely soft luster that subtly catches the light, numerals gilded in pink gold and 18 karat pink gold hands, plus a sneaky little date window at 4 o'clock. You get the caliber BR3021 automatic mechanical movement with an even 54-hour power reserve, and it's slightly smaller for a BR2 at just 41mm. It still maintains the strong aesthetic of a Bell & Ross though, yet feeling refined and sophisticated. So if you want to try a pilot's watch with a little bit of flair and visual impact, check it out for £6,000. Next, we're heading over to Czapek for a bit of haute horlogerie in a sporty chic style. That's right. This is the Antarctique Green Meteor from Czapek. The Antarctique collection combines sleek, sporty style with top-tier watchmaking, so you get sophisticated design and craftsmanship with the performance and accuracy of an in-house movement. High five. Don't leave me hanging, guys. There we go. But this time with a green meteorite dial. So you get those attractive and distinctive patterns of meteorite formed by the very hard to replicate conditions of the extremely slow cooling of molten rock and metal in the vacuum of space. Then having landed on Earth, it's thinly sliced and coated with a green polished lacquer, then adorned with faceted trapezoid indices and steel sword-shaped hands, and packaged up in a stainless steel case of 40.5mm with an ergonomic brushed integrated bracelet, and you get the exquisite in-house caliber 6 SXH5 movement, featuring a Swiss lever escapement with a variable inertia balance wheel and a micro rotor. And there's hand beveling and sandblasting across all the bridges and plates, as well as open worked wheels. However, this watch is a limited edition of 100 pieces and it costs 25,000 Swiss francs. Moving on now to Ulysse Nardin. We have two new Diver X watches in the Ops collection, the Diver Net Ops and the Diver X Skeleton Ops. Ops as in operations, for serious and trendy adventures with these watches. So the Diver Net Ops, what's that first? Well, it's a dive watch with a big leaning towards sustainability, with a fabric strap made partly from upcycled fishing nets, and a case made from 95% recycled stainless steel, while the side parts and the case back are composed of 60% nylon and 40% carbonium. Now, these are made-up materials. So nylon is a polyamide, again formed from upcycled fishing nets, while carbonium is produced using carbon fibres found in the offcuts from aircraft fuselages, reducing its environmental impact by 40% compared to other carbon composites, which is admirable. So gold stars for Ulysse Nardin there. On the dial, there's a power reserve indicator at 12 o'clock and a small seconds display at 6 o'clock. The dial is also sandblasted and embossed with a large satin finished X, and it's water resistant to 300 meters, so if you do want to dive back into the ocean and reunite it with its fishing net friends, then you can. Then there's the Diver X Skeleton Ops. It's got a carbonium unidirectional rotating bezel, a case constructed in titanium with a black DLC coating, and an X structure on the dial, and the amazing skeletonized automatic movement UN372 inside. The Diver Net Ops and the Diver X Skeleton Ops cost £11,000 and £24,000 respectively. Now we have a whole caboodle of Casios, commemorating the 50th anniversary of Casio watches, with a popular model from each of its 5 brands: Casiotron, G-Shock, Edifice, ProTrek and Baby G, each designed around the theme of sky and sea and featuring blue and gold accent colours evoking scenes of the sky and the sea bathed in a glowing light. Lovely stuff. Each watch also pays homage to the very first Casio watch, the Casiotron QW02, by way of a gold coloured fluted ring around the dial. A great selection from Casio. Keep an eye out for them anywhere good Casios can be found. Check the fridge aisle. Now finally, Oris is offering you a taste of summer with 2 summer-infused iterations of the new Aquis date. So these 2 new Aquis come with all the new wonderful ergonomic and aesthetic refinements of the new Aquis introduced to the collection at Watches and Wonders Geneva earlier this year, so redesigned and re-engineered for enhanced form and greater performance. And now with sweet watermelon inspired dials in either refreshing green or sunny red. These are your everyday tool watches, but they're beautifully designed and featuring a high-quality Swiss-made automatic movement, 41.5mm in diameter, and both featuring white ceramic bezel inserts with minute scales matching the bright colours on the dial. You get stainless steel cases and 3-link bracelets with an elegant slimline profile, a transparent caseback and water resistance up to 300 meters. Are you ready for a sweet taste of summer? Well, you better be ready, because these watches are part of a one-off limited run, so when they're gone, they're gone. So make sure you've got your $2,700 ready, but if the actual summer is anything to go by, then they may have gone already, but maybe next time. So on that note, that concludes my roundup of 10 of the coolest new watches that I didn't want you to miss. Which ones are you going to be running out and buying immediately? Let me know in the comments below. Or perhaps you're looking for something pre-owned instead. So why not head over to watchfinder.com and find your next pre-owned luxury watch, and I'll catch you next time. All right then.